Hey guys, welcome back to the Diet Doc Life Mastery Podcast. I'm Joe Klemczewski. We are in the coaching clinic again, this time with David Mathas of Mathas Fitness. And David also works with Layne down in Tampa, Florida. So Dr. Layne Norton as one of his team members. And we go back a little bit, Dave, which is fun. Every time I see you at one of the camps or one of the expos, it's always great. Feels like going home because we're both from Indiana.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and Layne is too. It's kind of weird how the whole connections come full circle.
Right. So tell me just a little bit for people who may not know you, what got you into coaching and what made you want to even do this as a career?
Well, when I was a kid, I got into training, nutrition when I was probably around 11. My second oldest sister, actually left to go to Arizona State for exercise science. That was kind of the first time that I ever had heard about, wow, you can actually go to school for this. So I was always into sports growing up, but I kind of started gearing a little bit towards wanting to know a little bit more about nutrition and lifting weights. It's that time where, most boys are entering teenage years and they're wanting to start lifting weights. And I mostly was just doing it for sports conditioning, basketball, baseball, things like that. And back then I'm talking, this is, mid 90s, late 90s, because I'm 35. So there wasn't a whole lot of information out there at the time. Muscle building magazines, things like that. So I was just really into sports, never really into like bodybuilding or powerlifting or anything at the time. And also my high school girlfriend's dad was really into like triathlons and things like that. So kind of piqued my interest. However, I did not go to undergrad for that. At Indiana, I actually went for business. Like I said, back then there just wasn't a whole lot of information. Nobody knew that you could, coaching was a thing. There was no internet like it is now. Obviously.
Well, and to be fair, 95 and before, there really was not a coaching industry. I mean, that it was just getting started.
Exactly. So I went off to college. I didn't continue playing sports in college, but I kind of picked up my time in the gym a little bit more there. And then when I graduated college, that's when I moved down to Florida for a little bit, and I got some personal training certifications. Cause like I said, I was interested in it, but I kind of went the safe route, if you want to say, in college, business, which I'm actually finding out is helping me quite a bit now. There's always a use for a college degree, especially a business one. But I knew I didn't want to be in the corporate world. So I started doing personal training. I started doing it over in Tampa. And then 2008 hit, the economy hit. Nobody was paying for that stuff anymore. And I knew I wanted to go be in the medical field or the fitness industry somehow. So I went and looked into the Army, and I joined the Army. I was a combat medic in the Army for 4 years. Did a tour over in Iraq, was stationed up in Seattle, did medic training down in Texas. So really got to learn a lot about the body. I was also continuing my education with nutrition and just kind of learning more on my own and everything. But then something actually happened, and I developed a severe eating disorder in the Army. And I actually nearly died from it. I actually just made a post today about it. I got down to 94 pounds. I was in the ICU. Like most things with eating disorders, it wasn't about the food or the exercise. It was underlying issues that I had to get, dealt with. But during that time of recovery, that's when I started picking up on Layne's videos and some other people in the industry that I've grown to know, become friends with, and respect. And just kind of really opened my eyes and helped me understand what I was doing wrong, and kind of helped weed through some of that BS out there that we're all trying to get rid of. And that really turned me on to thinking about coaching. And when I got healthy enough, I went back and did my prereqs, and I knew I wanted to get into exercise science. And it was probably about 2016, maybe early into 2017, I actually became aware of Dr. Campbell here at USF. I didn't know we had such a good program right in my backyard, and got to be friends with people like Warren Conlon, and some other people that had been through Stephen Bogrand, people that have been through the program here, and emailed Dr. Campbell, told him what was going on, what my dreams, what my hopes were. And he encouraged me to apply, and I got accepted. And then I actually met Layne through that. And the rest is kind of history. I emailed him and said, hey, I really appreciate, you don't know what you did for me. but you really helped save me. You helped educate me. You helped show me the better way to do things, and really kind of lit my fire for coaching. So I emailed him after that meeting at USF and just said, hey, can I pick your brain? Can I take you out for a beer or something? And actually ended up just becoming his assistant, his kind of an intern assistant for a little while. Did that for about 8 or 9 months, just unpaid, just helping him and Holly out. And then he was slowly teaching me the coaching business, and just kind of picking up from there. So it's kind of funny because we've talked about it. I went up to him and kind of the same thing that I think he told you back in the day.
Right.
I was like, I want to do what you do, only I want to be a little bit better. I was like, that might be cocky. That might be, whatever it is, but it's true. I want to learn from you, and I want to learn from people that are going to make me better. So, and like I said, I'm about to graduate from that program in December, USF Exercise Science Master's program, and just looking to continue to build coaching and help people not go through the same stuff, the same struggles I went through.
Congrats. That's awesome. And, I was just in Sioux Falls, South Dakota with Austin Kiergaard, and very similar story. I mean, a lot of people start that way, where I also was in baseball and sports early as an unhealthy child. And that got me interested in my own personal development physically, which led to wanting to do that as a career.
Right.
And also, maybe a little bit before you in 95, but not too far before you, I was finding myself owning a gym. I had moved from physical therapy into owning a gym, starting to do nutrition programming. I had finished my first doctorate in nutrition. And so I thought, I don't know if this would work, but I would love to help people with nutrition. It was really pioneering some different things, even for the general population, because there just was not a coaching industry for anybody, for physique sport, for athletics, for general population. You just either had registered dietitians who worked in hospitals and school systems, or you had weight loss centers, or, I guess there were articles in bodybuilding magazines about that kind of bro nutrition.
Right.
So all of that really got started after 2000. So, you caught that wave. And then I love that you wanted to do something a little bit more rooted in health, allied health, medicine. And so I really think that's going to be necessary, moving this industry forward, to really giving it some legs and a foundation. So it's not just something that can kind of fall apart, collapse in on itself. It's going to take people like you to do that. So now you're down in Florida. You're in the Biolayne conference room, getting ready to start your day. And what do you see in your future 10 years from now? What would be the perfect business model for you to be doing what you want with competitors, with general population clients? What would that perfect scenario be?
Yeah, I definitely see. I've actually kind of started trying to work in that area a little bit. I made a post the other day. Now, I have never competed in bodybuilding. As passionate as I am, as much as I'm learning, and I love the sport, I've actually never competed. And there's a few reasons why, some dating back to my health issues. I'm still my body's not where I want it yet, as far as muscle mass and all that. So I'm giving it a little bit of time, but I definitely want to start making my mark in contest prep and powerlifting programming, coaching, and stuff like that. So I actually made a post the other day, and I think this is something that new coaches should think about doing. I actually offered a few slots open for free for contest prep individuals, a couple males, a couple females, in order to try to prove myself. Now, it's so easy. We get caught up on the social media day and age where, you just post a picture, you looking good, and if you're up on stage, you're going to get 100 clients, right? The fact is, I don't have that to my advantage. What I have to my advantage is my education, my mentorship, the people that I surround myself with, and my willingness to prove myself. So got a lot of great inquiries from that. Starting to work with a couple people that are about 20, 24 weeks out. I had some stipulations that had to be met, obviously. But I want to make my mark as one of the top evidence-based prep coaches in the industry, as well as still working with general pop and working with powerlifters as well. So I want to do that while producing content, using my master's degree, using my experience, my connections, with you, with other people around to help bring solid information, much like what you're doing with the Diet Doc and things like that, with the podcast, travel around, do seminars, do talks. So not too far off of what you and Layne and all these other guys that I respect do.
Well, I love that too, because again, we are in a segment right now in our podcast, called the Coaching Clinic. And I want people to see real coaches like you who are trying to navigate the industry and decide what you want to do for that career. And it can really look different. This is a field right now that is bridging that gap between the very cliche, textbook type nutrition that may not be effective. Even what you would see, maybe general population people gravitate toward the big chain type information,
right,
versus somebody who actually has their feet in the exercise science world, the nutrition world, that brand of academia. You're learning from Bill Campbell, who is phenomenal. He is he is one of the guys who's really anchoring that part of this new industry, I would call it. And it's interesting that he has attracted people like you and Lauren and Steven, because it's not the program that does it. There's always one catalyst, one person who's creating and driving that curriculum. And so Dr. Campbell is a friend of mine. I think he's amazing. I love seeing that he's putting out some great information now through social media.
He is, yeah. Actually, it's funny, about a year ago, we started having that conversation. He's like, I think I need to get on social media a little bit. So a few of us have been trying to help him little by little, and overnight he's grown tremendously. So when you have good knowledge to put out, you know what you're doing, it doesn't take long.
Exactly. So what you're doing, and this is why I invited you on the podcast. I did see that post where you were asking for volunteers who would, create kind of a base program for you and say, hey, we're gonna start with this many people and we're gonna move forward into this contest prep realm. Right. It is not at all uncommon for people who don't have the exact experience as a competitor to become a coach in that realm. If you have the right knowledge and you're willing to work and you're willing to learn. In my conversations with Austin this last weekend, 25 years after I started doing this, I'm still experimenting and doing new things and learning and testing. And, every time I have some kind of a little change as a hypothesis I want to run through clients, I have those people to do that with. And I'm getting better results for clients than I ever have. So even if you look at my early success, that kind of curiosity and that kind of hunger to improve never has to go away. And, you've got a great foundation already for doing that.
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point that, you have these cases to experiment on. As much as you can read in a textbook, it's never going to be the same as actually having hands-on with somebody. Everybody's an N of one. Each person is a new case study. What I think I have an advantage of a little bit going through the program at USF with Dr. Campbell is that our program is pretty much geared towards physique nutrition. Mm-hmm. That is our goal, is to improve physique nutrition. I've worked on a few studies. I've been fortunate to be a part of a couple studies with refeeds, diet breaks, things like that over the last couple of years that have come out of our lab. That kind of knowledge, that kind of experience is just invaluable. You can learn all you want in a textbook. If you don't know how to apply it or you don't have the resources to apply it to, you're never going to go any farther.
Awesome. So I'm sure people are going to be interested. You are down there in Tampa with Layne, and I know he's always growing into new areas, trying new things as well with his career. What on the Biolayne side is exciting, and what do you get to do at work there?
Well, we actually have a lot planned for 2019 and 2020. A few things in the works that can't really mention right now, but we are looking to hopefully bring a certification type thing to the industry to help weed out and give people more options to learn and become better coaches themselves through the knowledge that we know that Layne's gathered through all the years. He's definitely got some more books in the works, different books other than just fat loss and contest prep. So I think a lot of his fans out there are going to be really excited about that. I know Holly's got some books in the plans and a few other things that we're trying to develop to help better the industry. different avenues away from coaching even. So just more content, more things out there for people to learn and try to help better their knowledge. So there's a lot coming in the next 2019, 2020. So.
Awesome. So, David, we are going to put your information in the show notes where people can get a hold of you. But in case somebody's just listening to this through an audio format, what would be the best way for people to contact you at Mathas Fitness?
Actually, MathasFitness@gmail.com. That's my direct coaching email address. You can find me at Mathas Fitness on Instagram. Facebook, just search David Mathas. I am in the midst of working on a website, so unfortunately I don't have that for you, but it's probably going to be along the lines of MathasFitness.com.
There you go.
Try to keep everything pretty uniform, easy for people to, to see. And I also have a YouTube channel. Had it for about a year, a little over a year now. Kind of have more time to start producing content, and so I kind of get a little bit more regular with that. But you can just search David Mathas on YouTube. I'll pop right up. You'll see it. And yeah, those are the best ways. So.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I definitely want to have you back, and I want to dig into some of those other areas you talked about in your personal life as a combat Army medic, somebody who has struggled with some of your own health issues and relationship with food and health. So some of that stuff I think would be incredibly interesting to delve into. But I appreciate you being here with me today, David Mathas. It's always a pleasure, sir, and I know I will see you soon.
Thanks, Dr. Joe, and I owe you a tequila shot next time I see you.
Always. All right,
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, and thank you guys for watching and listening. We'll catch you next time in the coaching clinic.